hello gang. Something a little different. Instead of my ugly face on a camera playing War Thunder for you, how about I show you some actual real life aircraft today instead? That's right guys, I'm attempting my first vlog to show you guys some cool planes. This August long weekend, Mrs. Dutch and I went down to the 2026 Abbotsford International Airshow. And we said, hey, why not record some of it for y'all to see too? I was also using my camera for the first time in years, so I'll sprinkle in some shots here and there. Please keep in mind I only had a wide angle zoom lens, so a lot of faraway shots might not be that good. This year's air show marks a very important one. As many of you may know, after this 2026 air show season, the Royal Canadian Air Force snowbirds are being stood down due to the retiring of the CT-114 Tudor aircraft. They're being replaced by the CT-157 Siskin II, which means pilots and aircrew will need time to train on the new aircraft, which will not see them take part in any sky demonstrations until at least 2030. If you are anything like me, you grew up staring at the sky and mesmerized anytime you saw the snowbirds at a show. The glorious smoke trails, the elegance of their tight formations and daring maneuvers, and the roar of the Tudor jet's engines filling your ears as they dash by, leaving you with nothing but goosebumps and awe. I knew it would be a show to remember, so there's no way I was going to miss it. The day started at 7:30 a.m., the very smoky drive down to the lower mainland of BC, which saw a decent amount of traffic and construction zones on what's normally a pretty quiet section of highway. After our first hour and a half, we made our first pit stop location. The most important part of any Canadian road trip. Snacks and coffee, baby. And with that, we are back on the road for about 45 minutes before finally reaching the aerial Holy Land for a plane nerd like me. The closed runways filled with civilian and military craft of all ages, from the smallest of stunt planes to the monster size of super galaxies. I was immediately drawn to the World War II items, like the B-25 Mitchell. That was a perfect status display to walk around, showing off its rustic, rugged build. This year there were 3 of these old warbirds that would be airborne to show off their piston engine sound, just like what they would have sounded like fighting for our freedom 80 plus years ago. A dual engine P-38 that terrorized the skies of the Pacific and Western theaters, STB Dauntless that famously turned the favor of the Pacific War after Midway, and of course the beautiful dark navy shine of the inverted gullwing F4U. Canadian Armed Forces also put on a attack demo featuring the CH-148 Cyclone helicopter, which is always cool to see in person. That dark gray camo scheme just works wonders for a Canadian Air Force. By far the coolest item of the day for me was the MiG-17 Fresco. Its close and low roar was awesome, with its afterburners blazing away, and you could hear my excitement as it taxied into the town to driveway. Look at the heat. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, you can feel that. Snowbirds came midday, which had me sacrifice my skin getting nasty sunburns to get as many photos as possible while standing out in the open tarmac. Their demonstrations are never boring and get me to feel like a kid seeing them for the first time every single time. I am man enough to admit I did shed some tears when they were giving their send-off over the radio. It's going to be a long few years without them, and it won't be the same without those amazing Tudor jets. This will always be a special show because it will be the last I ever will see Canada's iconic snowbirds and their Tudors, and I'm grateful for that. The final performance of the day was Royal Canadian Air Force CF-118s, which are always iconic in their own right. The growl they put off and the vapor trails they leave in their turns, it's great to see up close in person. I actually got to speak to one of the pilots on the ground and get up close to one of the demo 18s, which is very cool as well. So once the CF-18s were done their show and landed, it was time to leave. The Abby Airshow is always great, but the lack of our southern neighbors showing off some of their cool aircraft was for sure noticeable. But with politics right now, I totally get it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this first attempt at a vlog. If you guys want to see more IRL aircraft content or armor content, please let me know. Thanks for watching. Much love. Peace.